Hey guys, welcome back to Zero Typology. Today we're covering the one and only, the Eastern Orthodox trad Chad himself, Dyer, the stuff of legend, the stuff of meme, the stuff of consternation. And this guy, I actually had a hard time typing him. Like I started watching him not because of like the orthodoxy stuff, which I don't really care that much about, but he covers a lot of pop culture stuff, like from like this esoteric lens, like these hidden truths that are being revealed in film and pop culture, which is super interesting to me. Like he did analysis of the back rooms. He did like an incel hit piece on that Obsession movie. Um, I love the cultural commentary, and I because of that reason. I'm thinking SOSP for him, and I feel like that's fairly obvious. Like he always has his eye on culture of religion, pop culture, academia, and he's very, very interactive with it. Like it's actually his brand. And I was originally thinking, okay, this guy is Hexad head. Like this is a very headspace orientation thing that he's doing, but I was thinking maybe he was a five for a while because he does get into such like in the nitty-gritty granular sense into these topics. Like he's extremely well read, he's very intelligent. And but then I was like, it just kind of clicked for me recently where I'm like, I think he's a seven. I think he's a seven wing eight. And seven wing eight is a little bit of like a dark spot, blind spot for me because I do feel like it's fairly rare as a core type. You're gonna see, first of all, you're gonna see a lot of sixes, a lot of six wing sevens, and then seven wing sixes, and then the seven wing eights being a little bit more rare. But if you're looking at, the triads of like, am I seeing primary frustration influenced by rejection, then you're probably looking at a seven wing eight, and then along with the head orientation thing that they're doing. And he was recently on Tucker Carlson and he gave out his whole long spiel of like the why and how he became an Orthodox because he was raised like Protestant and that left some things lacking for him in like a very intellectual sense. And then he did this really long exploration into the major denominations of Christianity and was a Catholic for a while, and then spent like 8 or 10 years investigating the Orthodoxy before he committed. And that, I mean, that can bring up, okay, so it's obviously a head type orientation to the world. And that is also a point of interest to me, the connection between spirituality and your Enneagram type and like how you get there. Because like for me as a nine wing one, my orientation towards Christianity was very, very like experiential. Like I believe in God. I believe in the Holy Spirit because I can feel him and I want to be consumed by this energy and immersed in it and transformed by it in kind of like an SX type of way. But this is all just, I mean, it's just dry head stuff for him. There's no nine-ish ooey gooiness, though I do actually think he has a nine fix. Um, but another thing that jumped out to me about his typing, which if you're doing your own typing, things to look for, is that he's very irreverent. And that's something that's really noticeable about sevens, even in like the spiritual space where it would behoove you to be a little bit more super ego and appropriate. He's very irreverent. He has a reputation of being kind of an asshole. Like he's this crusty Gen Xer. I think it's great. I think it's like entertaining as hell. but he pisses people off. And he recently came out and said that he is done doing debates, like religious debates with people, because people are just too dumb. He gets so frustrated and and he can be rude, irreverent in the way that he handles them. So like for example, I found this.
To debate anybody who came at me with goodwill.
As our material shows, Dyer is the one who has a bad will. And with regard to what he considers to be goodwill in debates, here are clips from a debate that Jay Dyer had with a Protestant. This is what he was saying to the other person.
Wrong with that.
You're a retard, so you're
Right.
a retard, and you came to the debate and you didn't even know it was an Nicaea. So they rejected Messiah, dummy. They make the decision on both the Old and the New Testament, you idiot. You are a complete idiot.
Says who? Me?
Right now.
Oh, you. Okay. And so why should I take your opinion on that?
It's not an opinion.
Okay, so
It's
how
a
is it a
fact.
fact? How's
You're
it a
an
fact?
idiot.
How is it a fact?
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, just notice that I'm just simply trying to go with the information
not.
and cite.
No, you
Yes,
don't
I
know what
am.
you're no.
Sir, you just keep interrupting me
Because you're an
and
idiot.
throwing at and
You're an
simply
idiot.
throwing insults. Say
They're
right there.
insults because you're stupid.
Now, since reverting to Eastern Orthodoxy,
To debate anybody who came at me.
Okay, so you get that sense of like there's frustration, like you're dumb, and also that rejection push from eight of like this is what you are, you're an idiot, you're not even worth my time. That's kind of the vibe. And I also found out that he was a comedy writer. Shoot, I should have looked this up. That Sam guy, that weird looking Sam Hyde. Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry guys, it's happening in real time. So he used to be a writer for his show. So I think that's also strong points for like seven for him. Like that swimming and that whole like comedy, just making a joke out of everything comes very naturally to him. And then one of my first exposures to him was this song, and I couldn't find the video, but it was like this remix that just went on and on. And I hate this about YouTube or any of this stuff that usually the music doesn't come through. So if it doesn't come through because of copyright strikes, I'll just link it in the video because it's funny.
Our God has a body. It's a very tone body.
Okay, so you get you really get it. I feel like I don't even really need to say anything. It's so irreverent. There's like no six-ish like anxious orientation of um around behavior. This is like people's religion. You might want to be respectful. You made a song about Mormon space wives and space sex, and that's really all you need to see, all you need to know. And then like you can just look at the aesthetic of his channel. Like it's very colorful. It's very expressive. The thumbnails are all like screaming seven to me. And also the fact that he is covering pretty serious topics like, religion. But he's wearing like a trucker hat and sunglasses, and there's this constant theme running throughout of just him being very flippant, very irreverent, and that causes a lot of people to hate him. I mean, I think it's great. Um, like sometimes you can get a feel for like the whole cultural perception from memes, and like him being memed right here is you're wrong, ratio, didn't ask, cringe, go cry. So it's very dismissive. It's getting into like the gutty space, and I was thinking probably secondary nine wing eight. I don't think he's like hexag gut. Like I don't think he's like that much. but it just gives him an extra layer of being just unbothered, like he just doesn't care. And then also three prefix and heart probably last. And sometimes like when you're looking at a fix, especially if it's last, if you're not really getting anything strong, like a hit of like obvious fourness with like the disdain and pickiness and or like two fixes really obvious too. Like you can probably assume it's I don't want to say just a three fix, but three fix has a certain neutrality, and in a type like this where he would be a core assertive type, it would definitely bolster him in his like general productivity. Like again, he's putting out like tons and tons of content. He's got 1.7 thousand videos. And I thought we could also check out, wait, where there was a clip of this I was watching. Um, where he was talking about the kind of the fallout from when he went on Tucker because he gave Tucker like seven potential topics to talk about, and Tucker wanted him to talk about orthodoxy and contrast that against Protestantism. And that obviously caused a lot of ripples, a lot of upset Butte cult within like the whole Protestant realm. And I am a Protestant, by the way.
I
I'm
got there and
a
I'm like,
I'm an evangelical, but I think also the like one of the differences between six and seven head is a more playful orientation towards ideas. Like I can listen to this crusty ass Gen Xer bash on Protestants, and it's like there's like a layer of removal because I'm like, this is just an idea that I'm playing with. I'm just checking it out. I'm not either having to like attach to it or assign like a super ego value to it. Like an idea is just an idea. It's kind of neutral on its own. I don't need to attach to it. I don't need to dismiss it. I don't need to disprove it. I can just listen to it and be entertained.
Yeah, I assume you want to talk about geopolitics and espionage, and he's just like, I'm over it, over it, kind of over it. I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna talk about? What about?
Oh yeah, he does these really great impressions all the time. So I should probably look up like a compilation of that. But again, just more like obvious seven. I don't know why it took so long for it to just click for me. Like, yeah, this dude's a seven.
Orthodox. Some of this is Orthodox. Like, okay, let's talk about it. A lot of y'all thought I went on Joe Rogan. I don't know why. Uh, I said very clearly, I never said very clearly that it was Joe Rogan. So I don't know how y'all came to that conclusion. Y'all just be making shit up, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just be tripping, you know what I'm saying? The other thing I didn't expect from this discussion, because of course, as I may have mentioned, I don't know. I think what they do on in the Tucker sphere is they like to have the guests not have a perfect idea what's going to be discussed. So it's a little raw, it's a little fresh. And so initially I suggested six different topics. Lexi was like, yeah, what do you want to talk about? I was like, well, here's things I talk about a lot. And did I do a Jesse Lee Peterson impression? I don't remember if I did. Maybe I need to. I don't know if he may not know who that is. I don't know. But so I suggested like six different things, and they were like, okay. And I was like, well, do you want to pick like one or two? Because any one of these could conceivably be, a whole 2 hour podcast. And she was like, yeah, well, whatever, we'll see. And then, so it ended up being basically all the things that I suggested. I think the only thing that I put on the list that we didn't discuss was tag. And I was like, that's probably too high tier philosophy, technicality for the audiences anyway.
I don't know what tag is.
And the Father Stephen DeYoung's episode had done really well with discussing the sort of demonic, esoteric type subjects. So they were very interested in the Hollywood occultism stuff. But what I did not expect was, and I had no idea we'd talk about this at all. The first hour is basically Tucker's questions about Protestantism and problems with Protestantism. And so I had no idea we were going to do that. Totally unexpected. It didn't bother me because it ended up being a really great discussion. But that then led to
And he does have a lot of that, like just go with the flow, like whatever, we can talk about whatever, which I think also supports him being like very assertive and confident in the headspace, and also having like a secondary nine wing eight of just whatever, man, I'm unbothered, we can talk about it, doesn't matter.
all of Protestant Twitter basically having a meltdown today because of this interview. So all of these prot commentators who are like know-it-alls. I didn't realize how annoyingly know-it-all all these people on Twitter are. Because I don't ever follow the For You. I try to avoid a lot of and these people have nitpicked the most annoying, retarded, ridiculous shit imaginable. Namely, when
So like this to me is reading as a more gutty just frustration of like these people are so stupid, I can barely even cope with it right now.
discussing giant swaths of history, you're discussing the last 2,000 years of history or the last 1,000 years of history, you're going to make broad statements. And I've seen dozens of large Protestant, here's the weird part, Protestant and liberal profiles are picking this apart because I didn't properly attribute the
So it just occurred to me like he would be a DJ. Like Jay Dyer is a DJ. I mean, he's making music, right? But this is like a very, very gutty DJ, like the most gutty and unbothered, rejection-y DJ. Well, I mean, I don't think he has a two wing on his three fix, but still very rejection and gutty heavy DJ.
precise definition of Hegel's version of dialectics, and I gave the inaccurate Fichte version of that. I'm like, dude, nobody gives a shit about gay ass dialectics from Fichte or Hegel, dude. It's like, and I'm like, what exactly was I wrong about? Oh, it's not thesis, antithesis, synthesis. It's position, opposition, reconciliation. That's the same thing. It's like you guys are crazy. So that all of these spurred nerd Protestant goobers are coming out of the woodwork to pick this apart, and they don't even know what books I'm citing. Like they've never heard of Heiko Oberman's book. It's a famous book. So this was the first thing. Let's see, you open this up. This is all I see, dude. Bud Bundy gave up chasing women for chasing crackpot theories about late medieval philosophy. Like, what does that even mean? And this Defiant Ghost guy, I don't know who this is, but I appreciate him clipping the shit out of this because he's the one that has clipped all these different clips that have enraged all the Protestants. This is awesome. So the most annoying though is this.
So, and there's also amusement in kind of like a trollish way. Seven wing eight, nine wing eight. He's amused that he started all these fires and pissed off all these people. There's no anxiety, no, I have to smooth this over.
Catholic guy, this kid, where's he at? It's not even worth finding this kid. It's not, he's using AI, right? So he's just replying to all my stuff with AI. So he's like a Catholic philosopher. He's like 20. And then we've got Aaron McIntyre. He says my analysis is comical. Let's see if he'll come debate. I bet he won't. I didn't make this up, first of all. Okay. This is a very well-known academic book in terms of Protestant history and theology. So Heiko Oberman is a famous Lutheran scholar, and he wrote a book called Harvest of Medieval Theology, and it's about late medieval nominalism, and it's tracing the influence from William of Ockham and Gabriel Biel, Biel, to Martin Luther. And this is not that crazy of a theory. It's pretty well known. So they're all acting like I said Martin Luther caused trans people because of nominalism, which is so retarded because that's not what I said. And if you watch the whole interview, it's covering within the first hour, 2,000 years of church history. You're going to make sweeping statements in 2,000 years of church history. You can't footnote every fucking statement in a 2-hour podcast, you idiots. You didn't provide the proper sourcing. Yeah, well, that's why you're not on Tucker.
So yeah, there's a lot of frustration with rejection. You guys are fucking idiots. You don't even know. Like I get the sense that he's irritated. he's amused, but he's irritated that because he is a public figure, he has to come on and well, he doesn't have to, but he's addressing it in a very frustration, rejection sense of you guys are just retards. You don't get it. You haven't read the books I've read.
Because you're a dork and you're going to always be in some small, tiny pocket with no audience and no relevance because you don't actually understand how to communicate to people. When I give sweeping statements like that, I usually have a book in mind, and this is the book that I had in mind when I said Platonism with Luther is invariably influenced by nominalism. This is not even disputable because of his doctrine of justification. I'm not saying that Martin Luther was a trans dude. Martin Luther didn't even conceive of this, obviously. But when you remove the idea of things having essences, and that's what nominal.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably are seeing what I'm seeing here, I hope. Okay.
If hobbits want to take freaking mushrooms, then go ahead and do it, okay? Just don't ask me about it because I'm shutting your butt down, okay? You can go to freaking Mordor and you can freaking touch butts all you want because, okay, this is a advertisement, okay, for my movie, okay? That's what this is. Make no mistake about it. I'm not your slave.
What do I think about hobbits? Well, when I get into a role such as playing a goblin, a demon, a boomer tart, or perhaps
A boomer tard. Okay, yeah. So this is just where he lives, and I also get this like the sense that he's frustrated that I mean his main interest is religion. That's what he's doing, but he like doesn't want to take it too seriously, and there's like a resentment about that expectation that he would. And you know, people can be into like spirituality or Christianity for all sorts of reasons, but people who are seven fixed are really gonna struggle with the whole like reverent, we have to modify our behavior, we can't be chaotic little goblins. Like that's gonna be hard for them, and I think that's why he is, you know, such a polarizing figure. And also in cognitive type voltology, he would be an FE-NI. And FE high people, especially FE leads, I find that they're the best at doing these impressions because like I don't know. I mean, especially like the NETIs, the FESIs, they're just really good at like getting into the headspace and like inhabiting, seeing people as characters that they can like channel.
The Hobbit. I like to take mementos, perhaps something like a bit of limbus bread and sew it into my jeans. That way I feel like I'm taking on the role. I call it neo-shamanic theater. It's well, gosh, it's like there's freaking hobbits running around and they're worried about their diminutive status. Perhaps they're on disabilities. This causes a break in the psyche.
And I think there's also points here for like the 7-9 stem of like all this like cross contextual, like he's taking celebrities and making it about hobbits and like Lord of the Rings, but also like inserting their own like thing into it. It's just like let's just like kind of smash everything together. Like why not?
They feel like Mordor's not paying attention to them. I don't know. I mean, fact.
Okay, listen, Joe. Listen. Okay, there's that Hermes Trismegistus, okay? And he's over there in Mordor, all right, Joe. Ain't nobody going in my booty hole. That's all Mordor is a giant hole, Joe. You gotta understand that. And if them hobbits is taking them limbus breads, okay, Joe? That's all I need to know, baby.
I don't know a lot about hobbits, but I do know about pillows. And I do believe that
It's the my pillow guy, okay?
limbus bread can make a great filling for a new pillow. Head on over to MikeLindell.com and get a hold of that new limbus bread pillow. It's also edible. Oh, it's scientific studies. And together with Sauron's powers and Mordor, I think we can get the number of the hobbits down.
When it comes to the hobbits, okay, Hobbit Town, this is a question of chaos, math, and a little bit of Kabbalistic sorcery. I feel like we can get though the ring back in the lava with the aid of the, shall we say, the little people.
Unbelievable, folks. We're gonna be live in the next 17 hours. I have on the line today the Hobbits of Hobbiton. Unbelievable.
I feel like his Alex Jones here is not, it's too hinged. It's not unhinged enough. He also works with Alex Jones though. Um, so that might be influencing.
Folks, the Hobbits of Hobbiton, they are going to go to Mordor.
Well, you see, filthy hobbitses can't evolve the way that science says nowadays. In fact, I'm on the side of Mordor. I found a nice little cubby underneath Mordor. Together with the British royals, we can have rituals.
Okay, also like what he's doing with his face here, I think he is probably image last. Like he just does not, he does not care.
To celebrate the hobbits.
Now, you hobbits say that this limbus bread allows you to do things that other people can't do. Is it possible that just maybe that Sauron is a figment of your imagination? Just is it possible? I need to close boots and the limbus bread. Get to the chopper. Get the hobbits to the chopper. So you will say to me now, what is this limbus bread? Ha! Only a man could smoke a limbus bread stogies.
Joy says, don't come. I give you 6 million wisdom. Anti-Semitism. There is only one thing you must learn about hobbits. The hobbits is retarded. Limbus breads give you.
I was channeling Osho, who is an NIFE, and he was only like NI developed, so like NI just NI cult leader.
Good feelings, man. I am drunk right now.
Friends, in my new book, The Hobbits of Israel, you'll learn that of these hobbits as they
The Hobbits of Israel, with a backdrop of blood moons.
into the land of Mordor, through that ring inside of Nestor Mordor to get rid of the curse of anti-Semitism.
Say one thing about these hobbits I really like is they always carry a little bit of limbus bread with them. There's a lot of things you can do with a little bit of limbus bread, you know what I mean? That old Galadriel. She's been pretty fine now. I might try to slip her a little bit of limbus bread, maybe put on a little bit of jazz music, you know what I mean? Something like that might work. I don't know. But Mordor is the symbol of the women. Women is the gates of hell. Mordor is symbolized that when Mordor had offered the EBTs to hobbits to keep them down and oppressed. And that's we got a single mom epidemic in the Hobbit in the Shire. Cause that's amazing.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we don't really need any more proof. Like this guy is just such obviously he's obviously a 7. I don't know why I was thinking 5.
Boxing, I appreciate you saying that. The linguistic part, me, Captain Tazaria, I wouldn't say that I'm using a linguistic argument because just like you said, you're not fluent in the.
He literally sat here arguing linguistics. All right, I'm out. I'm out of here. This is the dumbest thing I've ever been a part of. This is so stupid. Oh my gosh.
Boxing,
Oh, that's a really great place to close because that was so obvious frustration, rejection. This is, oh my God, I can't take this. This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever ever dealt with. And he's not debating people anymore. Um, because I don't even think it's like a fear of like, I don't think it's even in his radar that he's gonna be like owned or whatever in a debate. He gets so frustrated and he can't cope with it. And I feel that, like, I feel that. I'm not a core seven, but sometimes like when the frustration builds up in you, you just feel like you're gonna explode. And then I'm a core nine, so I can just kind of like peace out and like I'm gonna just disassociate a little bit and listen to music so I don't rip off my skin or someone else's skin. Um, but anyways, yeah, he's funny. He knows a lot about a lot, which is also kind of like a seven theme. I mean, if you're into the more like trad chad religion stuff, like orthodoxy or whatever, he'd probably be a good resource for you. Or if you're like me and you're just into like all this weird stuff, like and pop culture, Hollywood. Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. But anyways, Jay Dyer, he is a seven wing eight, nine wing eight, three wing four, SOSP. Guys, thank you for watching and catch you next time.